Dear all, thank you for joining us for today's webinar on Portugal Golden Visa Program. We appreciate you being on time. We are still waiting for others to join in. Please give us 5 minutes. In the meantime, you can watch this video.
You can enjoy high-quality life in Europe. Portugal, your gateway to Europe. The Portugal Golden Visa Program is your pathway to European Union citizenship. It is one of the easiest and fastest ways of obtaining Portugal residency, which could ultimately lead to citizenship and thereby open your doors to the European Union. Live, work, and study in any of the 27 European Union countries and travel to over 180 countries with visa-free on-arrival visa. Let us help you achieve your dream. We at Acquest specialize in permanent residency and citizenship by investment programs being offered by governments of American and European countries. Our team of professionals is here to help you complete your migration journey and land safely at your chosen destination. Acquest, your trusted immigration advisor.
Welcome back. Thank you once again for joining us today. I'm Saloni from Acquest Advisors. We are an immigration advisory firm based out of PKC, Mumbai, having offices across India. We specialize in permanent residency and citizenship by investment programs for USA, Canada, and European countries. Today, we are going to discuss the investment opportunities available for getting permanent residency in Portugal. We have a question and answer session post the presentation. I would request you all to post your questions in Q&A section only. Post the presentation, we will answer all these questions. Also, after the webinar, you will get a review page. Kindly review your today's experience. Today, on the panel, we have with us our CEO, Mr. Paresh Karya. Mr. Karya is a chartered accountant with rich experience in the area of private banking, investment advisory, and immigration. We have Filippo and Avia from JLL, who will be talking about the property investment opportunity. We also have with us Mr. Ricardo Loro, senior lawyer from the Portugal. Mr. Ricardo will discuss the process and updates on Portugal Golden Visa Program. I would now invite Mr. Karya to take us through the presentation further. Thank you.
Thank you, Saloni, for the introduction. Good evening, friends. Thank you all for joining us for this webinar today. I know some of you would have joined from your office while others would still be working from home. We are living in a strange situation. You know, the COVID has taught us a lot of things. We know what was the situation some time back when we were facing lockdown. We were, there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of uncertainty. We were all locked up at home. The streets were vacant. It was like curfew out on the streets. But fortunately, things have improved now, at least here in India. And, everything is almost open and we are back to normal. However, there are some key takeaways from the lessons that we have learned. One of the important lessons that we have learned is that we should diversify. We should diversify our investments, our business interest, our family members' interest, etc. We need to take care and we need to diversify. Let's say you are working in a company and you have a very good job. You are doing very well in your company and all your investments are in that particular company. Now, suppose something goes wrong, God forbid something goes wrong with that company, then you will be in a trouble, right? Similarly, if you have your business is doing well and all your money is invested in the business. And if something goes wrong with the business, then again, you will be in trouble. Likewise, if you have your job in a particular country, you have your business in a country, and you have all your investments, interests, property, etc. in a particular country, and like something like COVID hits and you get into trouble, then there is a problem. So it is very, very important for us to diversify. The other thing that COVID has taught us that we need to have a plan B. We need to have an option, if something goes wrong with your country, you need to have an option that you can move somewhere else. And both these objectives, both these objectives can be easily achieved through the residency and citizenship by investment programs being offered by many countries. Under this program, essentially, you need to invest maybe in a real estate or a business in some other country, and you get a residency permit. Now, some of the popular residency programs which are being offered are offered by European countries. Some of you would be familiar with the Golden Visa program, right? These programs offer you residency in return for investment, by and large, in real estate. So we have, today we are going to talk more about these programs and how you can achieve both your objectives of diversifying your investment as well as creating a plan B through such programs. It's like killing two birds with a stone. So let's talk more about this residency programs now. To discuss about the residents, we have with us today Filippo and Evia from JLL, who will be talking about property investment options in Portugal. And we also have Ricardo Loro, the senior lawyer from Portugal, who will take us through the process. Here. So let's talk about the Golden Visa program. We mentioned that there are many countries in Europe which are offering Golden Visa program, and the most popular among them has been the Portugal Golden Visa program. And this program is considered to be your gateway to European Union. So let us understand what is European Union. Let us understand the concept of European Union more in detail and what are the advantages you get once you become a citizen of any of these European Union countries. Yeah. So European Union is a political and economic arrangement between 27 European countries who have come together and decided to cooperate for economic as well as other purpose. So these are the 27 you can see on the slide. It's not very clear, but you have various countries. You have Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, France, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, etc. All this, Spain, Portugal, these are all 27 countries are part of the European Union. And the good thing about the European Union program is that a citizen of any of these 27 countries can freely move and settle in any of these countries and enjoy all the benefits which a citizen of that country would enjoy. You can also freely set up your business in any of these 27 countries. So the idea of European Union is something similar to what we have in India. We have, different states. One is free to move from one state to another state, do business, and stay over there, buy property over there, study over there. Similarly, in case of European Union, there are 27 countries who have a similar arrangement and allow their citizens to move freely across and settle anywhere in these 27 countries. Right now, why would one look at moving to Europe? I'm sure many of you have traveled to Europe and would have been, impressed with the city, with the continent. Europe is a very diversified continent with a lot of culture, a lot of history, beautiful places, and above all, one of the most reasons why people want to move to Europe is for the education of the children. And the second reason why people want to move over there is for the quality of life. Europe offers one of the best quality of lives in the world. It is compared to the one in US and Canada. In fact, on some of the parameters, on life expectancy, on family time, maternity leave, time away from work, etc., Europe scores at par or even ahead of US and Canada. So a good quality of life coupled with good education and healthcare system are the primary reasons why people are looking at moving to Europe as an option. Let us look at the 7 key benefits which a citizenship of any European Union country would offer you. The first one is free movement. We have already discussed this earlier. If you are a citizen of any of these 27 European Union countries, you can freely move to any of these countries. You can live there, you can work there, you can study there, you can and do business over there. Right. The next point is free education. Now you will get free education across all those 27 European countries. So let's say if you are a citizen of Portugal, your children are currently studying here in Portugal and they want to move to Germany, France, or Netherlands for further education, then they will get the same education benefits of free education or concessional education, which citizens of Germany, France, or Switzerland would enjoy. You also get access to the national healthcare system of all those 27 countries. Right? So if you move to any of these 27 European countries, you will be treated like you are as if you are a citizen of that country, and you will get free or concessional healthcare in that country. The other major advantage of EU citizenship is you can freely do business across these 27 countries. If you have a business in Portugal and you want to set up a branch office, or you want to set up a new business in Germany or France, you can freely do it without much hassles. One more reason of EU citizenship is it offers you a very powerful passport. Right? We'll talk more in detail about this in the later part of the presentation. So now let us look at Portugal Golden Visa and why Portugal Golden Visa is considered to be the fastest path to European Union membership. So before we go in detail about the Golden Visa program, let's try to understand the country itself. Portugal over here, like you can see in this map over here, is located right over here in the center. India over here, right in the corner, and we have US to the left, extreme left, and Portugal is right in the middle between India and US and North America. It is located along the Atlantic Ocean on the southern tip of Europe. So you have virtually, you can see that it is located in the center of the world with access to most of the countries. You have whole of Europe over here, you have Africa, you have Middle East, you have North America, and you have Asia. So it has a very strategic location. The other advantage of this location is being along the Atlantic Ocean and on the southern tip of Europe is it enjoys a fantastic weather all year around. And we'll talk more about this Portuguese weather, which is it is known for more in detail later. Now coming back to Portugal, you can see over here, this is a map of Portugal. It is located next to Spain. This is Spain. This is Portugal all along. It has a very long coastline, and this is the Atlantic Sea, or Atlantic Ocean. So right on top over here in the north, we have Porto. Now Porto is the second largest and the most prosperous city of Portugal. It is also a key tourism and hospitality destination. You have a lot of tourists, especially from Europe, going to Porto and all around the year. It is also a heritage site status. It also enjoys a heritage status. You will see a lot of old monuments, buildings, etc. over there. And for those of you interested in football, they have the FC Porto Football Club over here. Down over here in the center, we have Lisbon. Now, Lisbon is the largest city of Portugal, and it is the capital city. It is a major international commercial hub as well. And Lisbon is a unique blend of modern living with ancient culture. Lisbon is also one of the top cruise destinations for in Europe. So if you are walking along the seaside in the evening, you're taking an evening walk in Lisbon along the seaside, you will see some of these large cruises docked out over there. Right here in the southern tip, we have Algarve. Now, Algarve is famous for its beautiful beaches and sunshine all year around. You know, Algarve is something similar to what we have in Goa over here. People like to go there, they like to go to relax, and they like to party. Algarve is also known for a number of golf courses. In fact, some of the best golf courses are located of Europe are located in Algarve. And you can also buy a beautiful, property on the golf course, which Filippo could talk more about in the latter part of the presentation. Algarve is also the preferred destination for retirement. Given its weather, given its sea, beach, sunshine, etc. Most of the people from Europe, from countries like UK, France, etc., to retire in Algarve. Right. So in the earlier part of the presentation, we saw the location of Portugal. Now, Portugal, because of its location by the sea and in the southern tip of Europe, offers a fantastic weather all year around. And this is particularly important for we Indians. We are not used to cold weather. We don't like cold weather. We, at the same time, would like to move to places which are more pleasant. So Portugal offers this option over here. The temperature over there, the maximum temperature in Portugal will be about 8 degrees even in the winter. This is something what we have in Delhi or Pune or Bangalore in winter over here. And it goes up to in summer, it goes to 28 degrees. So 28 degrees is what we have in Mumbai, generally around the month of November, December. So you can see over here, it offers a pleasant climate and a lot of sunshine all year around. It also offers a very good healthcare system, which is ranked among 12th in the world. Also, Portugal is considered to be one of the most welcoming countries for expats. The Portuguese people, by their very nature, are very warm, friendly, and welcoming. And you will feel at home over there. They will make you feel very comfortable. And India and Portugal go a long way. There is a long connect between India and Portugal. And the current Prime Minister of Portugal is of Indian descent. His grandparents are from India. And also we know that, we have colonies like Goa, Daman, Diu, etc., which were erstwhile Portuguese colonies. So there is a good connect between India and Portugal, and there are quite a few Indians already settled in Portugal. The other good thing about Portugal is that it has relatively low cost of living. It is ranked at 22 on the cost of living index in Europe. As we know, who have traveled to Europe, we know that most of the cities, if you go to Paris, Berlin, Rome, etc., the cost of living over there is very high. But when it comes to Portugal, the cost of living is very low. It is almost like over here in India. So all those reasons, the weather, the healthcare system, the friendly nature of the people, and the relatively low cost of living make it a perfect destination to retire. Also, Portugal is one of the most peaceful countries in the world. It is ranked 3 on the Global Peace Index. Now, this is very, very important in current time, when there is turbulence and disturbance all over the world. You find in different parts of the world, there are disturbances, and some of the countries which were considered to be, very safe and sound are still experiencing disturbances. So in a situation like this, when we are looking at safety of ourselves and our family members, a country like Portugal, which is the 3rd most peaceful country in the world, you would have hardly heard about Portugal getting involved in any, problems or controversies, etc. They enjoy good relationship with most of the countries in the world. That's why they have such a powerful passport. So coming back to the passport, if we see the Portuguese passport is ranked 6th in the world. It is at par with Switzerland and ahead of countries like US, Canada, Australia, and UK. So let's talk more in detail about the Portuguese passport. Right, we have been getting many clients approaching us where they may not be looking at investment, they may not be looking at migration. Their only objective is to get a passport which will facilitate free travel, visa-free travel to a number of countries. When it comes to Portuguese passport, you can see on this map over here, the countries which are marked in green. These are all the countries where you can travel visa-free. You have US, you have Canada, you have Latin America, South Africa, you have Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, and so on. Most of the countries where Indians like to travel are available for visa-free travel in case of if you have a Portuguese passport. And the countries which are marked in blue over here, except UK is now no longer a part of European Union, as we all know, but all the other countries which are marked in blue are the EU countries. And these are the countries where you can freely settle. It's not only visa-free travel, but you can actually go and live and work over there, like we had seen in an earlier part of presentation. So you can see from this, Portugal offers a fantastic option for those who are looking at a powerful passport. Now let us look at why Portugal Golden Visa program is considered to be the fastest and the easiest way to obtain European Union citizenship. Right? All that you need, it is a very easy process. All you need is to invest 500,000 euros or 350,000 euros in a property in Portugal. You will get a residency permit usually within 1 year. And then all you have to do is stay for 7 days in a year in Portugal to maintain your residency conditions. And while your money is invested, it also earns returns. It ranges from anywhere about 3% to 5%, depending upon where you have invested. It could even go high depending upon your risk-taking ability. Right? And after maintaining your residency condition for a period of 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. Now, this is very important over here, both these conditions, staying over there for 3 years and applying for citizenship after 5 years. When we compare to other Golden Visa programs offered by, let's say, a country like Spain. For instance, Spain also has a Golden Visa program. But if you take up the residency of, if you go for the Golden Visa program of Spain, you are required to stay there for 6 months in a year, as compared to just 7 days in a year in case of the Portugal Golden Visa program. Also, in order to get a citizenship, in case of Spain, you can get citizenship only after 10 years. Similarly, if we are looking at Greece, in case of Greece, there also, in order to get a citizenship, you are required to stay over there. And you can get citizenship only after 7 years. Compared to that, in case of Portugal, the residency conditions are quite liberal, and the time for getting, the citizenship is also very quick. So that's why we call it the fastest and the easiest way of getting EU citizenship. Now let us look at the requirements. We have Ricardo Loro, the lawyer, who is going to talk more about this in detail in the later part of the presentation. But in the context of, the Indian clients, many of you are looking at various other programs, and that generally most of the programs have an age limit. They have some language requirement. They have some education requirement. You need to have business experience. You need to have some qualifications, and you need to score certain points, etc., in order to qualify for PR. Whereas in case of the Portugal Golden Visa, none of this is required. There is no age limit, there is no language requirement, there is no education requirement, there is no business experience, no points, nothing. Right? Similarly, some of the other programs we have seen require detailed documentation of the source of funds. Where are you getting money from? You need to document in detail. In case of Portugal, there is no such requirement. Of course, your fund have to be from legitimate source, but there is no lengthy documentation of source of fund required. Also, in case of Portugal Golden Visa, there is no requirement of interview. Now, what is required will be discussed more in detail in the later part of the presentation. Other benefits, we come across many clients who are looking at migrating outside India, and they keep and ask us these questions, whether I will be able to take my parents, whether I will be able to take my child who's more than 20 years old, whether I will be able to take my brothers and sisters, and more often than not, we have to say no to them. Right? But Portugal Golden Visa is one of the programs which allows your extended family also to be a part of this program, and they can move along with you. So if your child is about 26, about 21 years of age, you can still take your child as long as you are able to prove that he is dependent on you, which means that if he's still studying, if you are paying for his fees and he's staying with you, then he's dependent on you. Your parents, about 65 years of age, can be a part of this program. They can be a part of the program even if they are below 65 up to 55, if you are able to prove that they are dependent upon you. Similarly, your spouse sibling who's below 18 years of age and dependent upon you can also be a part of this program along with you on a single application in a single investment. Look at, broadly, what are the investment options? How does one get Golden Visa? So one of the options, the first and the most popular option is investing in a property. You need to invest 500,000 euros, in a property in Portugal. And this can be any property. You can invest in a residential property, you can invest in a commercial property, you can invest in an office, in a hotel, whatever it is. It has to be a real estate property, and it can be ready property or under construction property. The other option is you can invest 350,000 euros in a property, in an older kind of a property, or in a venture capital fund. So the amount is less over here, 350,000, because you have to invest in a property which is in the rehabilitation category, which means that the buildings are over 30 years of, or more than 30 years old, and the government has approved redevelopment of this property. So as we know, Portugal is a very old country and they have very old buildings over there. The government is encouraging renovation of these buildings while preserving the culture, ancient culture. So if you invest in such properties, then the investment amount goes down to 350,000, as long as, if these properties are located in city centers or urban areas. You also have an option for those of you who want to make less investment. You have an option of investing 280,000 again in such rehabilitation and renovation buildings, which are more than 30 years old. But the condition over here is that these properties need to be located outside the urban area. So they will be located in the interiors, more in the rural area. Right, friends, so those are broadly about, the Portugal Golden Visa program, the benefits of EU citizenship, and how you can get Portugal Golden Visa through investments. Now to talk more in detail about the Portugal real estate market. We have been getting a lot of questions from clients with whom we are interacting as to what is happening in the Portugal market, what is the number of transactions, how deep is the market, what kind of returns one can get, what are the investment options, etc. So to address all these questions, we have over here with us, Filippo Simonta from, he's a business director with JLL. Now we all know JLL is a global real estate consultancy company. So I will now invite Filippo to take over and take us through the Portugal real estate market. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Acquest team. Thank you, Paresh, for inviting us today. I will give a very quick overview of the Portuguese market at this moment. We at JLL, we have a large research department, so we always try to publish updated reports and articles about the market in Portugal. So today I'm going to show you some of our options of investment and the key information on Portugal. We'll start here with some pictures of Lisbon and Porto to just give you an idea on the look and feel of Portugal for some of you that might not have visited yet the country. Okay, here we see Porto. We see a few pictures about Lisbon. Okay, here we see Porto again. Both of the city, they are very close to the riverside, and they have an historical architecture. Both cities are some of the oldest cities in Europe, so they are very dense, full of history. Regarding the market overview, here we see that prices are continuing to grow, even after the COVID. In terms of property values, in the center of Lisbon, in the best location of Lisbon, the square meter price is around 10,000 euros per square meter, which is much lower than other comparable cities around the world. Okay, what, based on our research, is bringing people to invest in Portugal? Definitely is the prices, so they are very competitive prices, as we said, in Europe in comparison to other European and worldwide countries. Also, it has a very favorable demographic factor, which are attracting many new residents to move into Lisbon for its political, social, and economic stabilities. We are working with many companies. Some of them are very well known, such as Adidas. We help Adidas opening an office for 800 people in Central Porto. We know that Amazon is about to open their Amazon Portugal operation, so we are waiting for that. We know that Google and Daimler Group, which is behind Mercedes and BMW, are opening technological center in downtown Lisbon. Also, Lisbon and Portugal offer investment that are very stable even during crisis period. So it's a very safe country where to put your wealth. And this has been bringing more and more international investor to be confident on the future development of Portugal. Other important factor, in general, Portugal has one of the lowest build capacity of new apartments, available per inhabitant. Why? Because Portugal, especially the cities, as I said, are some of the oldest in the world in terms of city development. So the space is mainly already built or has historical buildings that are conserved. Also, no skyscraper or very little skyscraper can be built in central Lisbon and central Porto. This reduces the capacity of new buildings to be built. So whoever is buying an apartment in central Lisbon or central Porto or elsewhere in Portugal is buying a very limited stock, a very limited supply, with the demand increasing with the new residents and the international attractions becoming more and more towards Portugal. So this makes the apartments and the houses in Portugal very, very valuable. The residential units are also some of the best investment you can make because they have been very stable in comparison to other asset class such as hotel, retail, or other type of property that of course we do offer, but we have seen that residential units are some of the best and most stable investment you can ever make. Also, the rental market in Portugal is still very underdeveloped. So all these new residents that are coming to rent in Lisbon, and here we are seeing many Europeans that are planning to spend 1 or more years living abroad. Now it's 1 out of 3 Europeans are thinking of spending at least a period of their time elsewhere in Europe, and Portugal is always on the top 3 destination. So we will see many new residents that will want to rent an apartment, also due to urbanization, so to increase population in the city center. So the market, it's still underdeveloped. So new units, especially of a good quality units, are missing in central Lisbon, central Porto, and elsewhere in Portugal. Okay, here we see a little bit the impact of the pandemic on the market. We have seen after the financial crisis, Portugal was one of the latecomers, so it's developed very quickly after the financial crisis, and so the sales of residential units, of units in general. In 2020, we have seen a slight decrease in sales due to the pandemic. However, the market and the population become used to buy remotely. Most of them, they are looking for more spaces in terms of living spaces. Thus, we expect 2021 to be a recovery year. And actually today, the European Commission also vouched this expected growth and rebalance in the Portuguese economy. Okay, who is buying a residential unit? As I said, we as JLL, we are seeing a majority of international buyers now coming to Portugal To give you an idea, last year, tourism from Germany to the Algarve and in Portugal in general increased over 100%, because Portugal is becoming more and more famous and interesting for internationals. Other important nationalities are Brazilian, France, Chinese, but also UK citizens are one, and US citizens are some of the largest group that are buying in Portugal. Indians as well. We have seen lots of Indian investors coming to set up a business, buy a property, just doing the golden visa, or optimize their tax exposure by investing part of their wealth in Portugal. What are they buying? They are buying between 250,000 euros up to 1 million. And a percentage of that is a golden visa buyer, but it's not the majority. What typology they are buying? T0 is a studio, so it's only 10%. T1, it's a 1-bedroom apartment, then 2-bedroom apartment and 3-bedroom apartments. These are the units that comprise the majority of sales and the majority of demand. And we'll see in the next slides that are also the units that are mainly requested by renters. About the golden visa, we see here in the golden line the amount of people, the amount of investment going to the golden visa in comparison to the total purchases in Portugal. As you can see, golden visa, they represent less than 1% of the investment coming into Portugal. This means that most of the investors are coming to Portugal to relocate, to diversify their investment, or just because they love the country. So the golden visa, although it's an important scheme, it's a good plus, but it's not the main motivation. The main motivation is what we explained before. It's one of the hottest markets. We expect Portugal in the future to continue to grow, and that's why investors are coming here. So as I said, if I buy a unit, a residential unit, who's gonna be renting this unit? We can see that still the majority is Portuguese citizens, even though we have a big chunk of international renters. Who are the top renters? Brazilians, due to the same language and similar culture. We are seeing lots of Brazilians moving. France, it's a neighboring country to Portugal. It's very close, and historically there has been lots of French people moving into Portugal. And then United Kingdom. Brexit has given lots of UK citizens a motivation to buy and to relocate into Portugal, to not lose the access to the European market and the visa. So these are definitely some of the highest. Also US, Chinese, other Asian investors are some of the highest growth, followed by Germans, Italian, and other European citizens that are moving into Portugal, attracted by the growth of the country. What are they renting? They are renting units that are, their budget is between 1,000 euros to 2,500, and they are looking mainly for 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartments, and 1-bedroom as well. Studios are less demanded, especially because this is long-term rental. Studios are typically sought for short-term rental.
Welcome everybody. I'm really pleased to be here today and to share some of the properties we have. So in JLL, our portfolio is really large. We have around 5,000 properties and many of them are new developments. So today I will show you just a few of them. So let's look at several first opportunity. I will share the project called Sesimbra Cliffs, because as already mentioned before, Portugal is famous for sunny and beautiful weather, and usually many foreign clients are looking for beachfront properties. So this is one of options that is located in front of the ocean, so you can actually walk to the beach and have great time there. There are many restaurants and bars nearby. This city is located around 40 minutes only from Lisbon and from airport. So even if you are staying in this development and you want to go to Lisbon, it's very, very easy to move around. So Sesimbra, as you see, it's a beach city, so it has some seasonality. So this opportunity is great if you, for example, want to rent this apartment in high season, because you will get 100% occupancy, and then maybe in a lower season, you can try to find a tenant who would rent maybe 3 to 6 months, or maybe during winter period, or it's also great to live for yourself. Important to mention that this is already a project that is concluded, and it has 56 apartments between 45 and 128 square meters. There are studios up to 3-bedroom apartments, and it also has a swimming pool, garage, fitness, and security. Apartments here start from 175,000 euros. So in order to reach 500,000 Golden Visa criteria, you would probably invest in 2 apartments in this location. And it's also important to mention that all apartments in Portugal, if you buy new development, they already come with fully equipped kitchen and with air conditioner. So only thing you need to take care of, if you rent for shorter period of time, you would need to invest in buying furniture, or if you rent for long-term period, then usually it would be tenants who would move in with their own furniture. So here is another image of the model apartment. As you see, it's very bright, it has large windows, and you have those fabulous views of the ocean. Another image, it's absolutely fantastic. And imagine you are so close to Lisbon. Then the next project I will be presenting you is located actually in heart of historical part of Lisbon. It's fantastic choice for those who prefer to have a property in center of Lisbon and actually to walk around and to discover all the cultural opportunities there, you know, to do shopping and to travel around, because from this development you can really walk around all city. It has traditional facade, and most of apartments have beautiful balconies, and here you have an example. From upper floors you can even see the river. So the area where this one is located, it's called São Bento, and it's one of trendiest and most traditional areas in Lisbon. And it also has studios up to 2-bedroom apartments. And this project is quite unique because, as you saw, the facade is historical, but inside it's super modern and super comfortable. This project, as its rehabilitation, it qualifies for 350,000 Golden Visa and 500,000 Golden Visa program. And prices here start from 310,000 euros. In this development, you might target either expats or young professionals who move to live and to work in Lisbon. As you see here, this image shows idea of the kitchen. So it's really beautifully done. It's already with all equipment. And another important factor, for new construction, you get 5-year construction guarantee. So if there is anything happening during first 5 years, it means that it's a developer's responsibility to come and fix it. So it's an extra advantage for buyers. And most of foreign clients actually choose new developments and newly built properties because it's safer. And the next project, yeah, this is another image from Santa Catarina Unique. And we mentioned also a project in Porto. because Porto is the second largest city, and it's also developing very fast lately, and it has its own airport, and it attracts many new businesses, and there are very good universities, and it's very, very popular touristic destination. So this project is very centrally located. It's in the heart of Porto, near Avenida dos Aliados. That means it's kind of Champs-Élysées, let's say, of Porto. It's a main avenue, and there are a lot of business around, cafes and restaurants. And this is a rehabilitation project with a beautiful historic facade. And this development is targeting mainly tourists, and apartments are 1 to 2 bedroom apartments, and ranging from 54 to 128 square meters. And it's typical to have high ceilings, balconies, and terraces in these type of buildings. And as mentioned, this project qualifies for Golden Visa 350,000 euros, and prices are starting from 370,000 euros. This project is almost completed. The works are planned to be concluded by July. So imagine if you are interested in this type of project, it's already possible to do video calls and to present you the property. Then following, I will show you another couple images of the development. Another example of kitchen. It's really modern, light, and very, very comfortable. An image of bedroom. This project is really unique because it has very tall windows, and its apartments are flooded with light. How it's purchasing a home in Portugal? What are the steps? So usually it starts with finding the right property and then signing the power of attorney. Now actually, because of COVID times and thanks to technology, we all innovate, and now actually it's better to start with finding the lawyer, and we have Ricardo here. It's really possible to do all the power of attorney even before starting to look for a property, or to do it simultaneously. Because once the property is found, and once you have a power of attorney, the lawyer actually has rights to represent you. And once you have a property, you inform the lawyer, and we communicate all the purchase contracts to the lawyer, and lawyer will review it and make sure that it's safe for you and it qualifies for the Golden Visa requirements. Usually here, to secure the property, we have a reservation deposit that is between 5,000 and 15,000 euros as a reservation, and that apartment is blocked for 2 weeks while the lawyer is reviewing the contract. Then if everything is all right and the lawyer is comfortable and you are still committed to buying this certain apartment, we proceed with signing promissory purchase and sale agreement. After that, if it's a new development, you will need to pay for the apartment in several payments. However, if you buy a property for Golden Visa purposes, you might be asked to transfer the necessary funds before. So you would make a necessary 350,000 euro transfer or 500,000 euro transfer earlier, and then the final payment you would pay only at the signing the deed. So the next, so for apartments that are ready to use, there are only 2 payments. So it's 20% in average for the promissory contract and 80% of the total price at the deed. And for new developments, it's different. So the deed will be done actually only when the license to use, and only then the deed will be done at the notary. And then in between, of course, we have transactions charges that I already mentioned, and then it's handover and after sales services. And from JLL point of view, we also, of course, can help to find a tenant and find a company who can help you to manage the property after it's concluded and after the transaction is concluded. And it's important for you to know, so in case you will decide to proceed with the purchase in Portugal, I will be very happy to welcome you and to help to choose the right property for you from our portfolio. Thank you very much. And now I give words to Ricardo. Thank you.
Thank you, Avia, for that wonderful presentation and showing us all these opportunities. So friends, you have seen now, that there are such good opportunities available over there, right from the oceanfront apartments in Sesimbra to the heart of the city in Lisbon and Porto. So all those property options are available you have option under the 500,000 category as well as the 350,000 categories. Now I'll invite Ricardo to talk more about how you can get Golden Visa through this process, and more particularly, what are the latest developments and what if somebody wants to initiate the process now? We are living in COVID times. It's not easy for everybody to travel. So how have you been handling the situation, and how you can help the clients who want to start the process but are not able to travel? Right, Ricardo? You can take over. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Paresh, for your introduction, and thank everyone for these kind words. Regarding Golden Visa, the Golden Visa law in Portugal, it exists since 2012. Since 2012, which is a considerable length of time. It just has recently got into some changes, but the most importantly, what you need to know is that the current legislation will be in force until 31st of December 2021. So this means that the new changes that will occur in Portugal, and we will go through them after, I'm not going to take your time now. These new changes will only occur from January 1st, 2022. You can see from this slide that these are the number of residency permits per investor in 2020. And in 2020, you see that from the number of residency permits, almost 100% was made by acquiring a property. So from this, we know that the main investment in the Golden Visa is usually properties. Now, what is the Golden Visa? Well, it's not a visa at all. It is a residency permit. It is a temporary residency permit for you to live in Portugal, can do whatever you want in Portugal. You can live, you can study, you can work in Portugal, and you have the right to freely circulate over the EU countries and Schengen area countries. You cannot live there while you are a Golden Visa member, but you can live there once you become, if you choose so, to become Portuguese national, which is a right that you will acquire after having the Golden Visa for 5 years. Regarding the Golden Visa route, here are the guidelines. As Avia said, indeed, you first need to start with either the power of attorney or the investment. I'll go into detail in the next slide. So first you need to have your investment. With your investment made, either type of property that you acquire, you are then applicable for the Golden Visa. And the first Golden Visa card is in the time frame of 2 years. So the card is valid for 2 years. And then after 2 years, you renew it again for 2 years. And then in year 4, again, you renew it for another 2 years. But at year 5, you have the possibility to apply for the permanent residency and also for the Portuguese citizenship. How can you renew your Golden Visa card? Well, you can renew it by maintaining your investment and by staying in Portugal during that 2-year period of validity of the card 14 days. So you have to be 14 days every 2 years in Portugal. You can divide these 14 days as you wish, 7 days 1 year, 7 days in the other year, or 14 days all in 1 year. As a lawyer who has been directly and indirectly responsible for more than 900 Golden Visa cases, I advise you to spend a bit more time in Portugal, and most time yes you can, but the minimum requirement which the law will apply and the entities will apply is 14 days every 2 years. Then, to become a Portuguese national, you will need just to prove that you have been resident for these 5 years, maintaining this Golden Visa card, and pass a Portuguese exam language A2 level that will qualify you as a Portuguese speaking. So how do we do this? How do we do this in COVID time, in pandemics time? Well, we adapted. So we can do all at a distance, in the sense that we as lawyers here at Martínez, we can help you once you find the investment. We can provide you the necessary draft of power of attorney. We can send it to you, and locally at the notary or at the Portuguese embassy, you can sign this power of attorneys and send it back to us. And then locally, we can do several things which are fundamental for your Golden Visa. First of all, we can obtain your tax numbers, which is mandatory for any purchase, open of bank account, or acquiring anything in Portugal. We can open your Portuguese bank account also at a distance. And of course, we can sign all the contracts regarding the property that you chose, even reservation, promissory contract, and title deed or final purchase contract. While you are at home, you just need to gather the mandatory documentation, send us copies by email, and pay the immigration fees. And only then, once the process is submitted online through immigration, can you then schedule the appointments, or can we only schedule the biometric appointment for you? And it's only at the biometric appointment time that you need to come to Portugal. So if you don't want to come into Portugal before, you don't need. If you want, of course, you are most welcome to come to visit us. But if you are impossible or if you are afraid due to COVID to come, you only need to come once for the biometrics. Or everyone in the family needs to come. Allow me to clarify this. So I'm going to make an example of a family, which is a father, a mother, or a husband and a wife, a son and a daughter. So with one investment of 350 or 500, all of these members of the family can have a Golden Visa. So the father, for example, will be the investor. The wife will be aggregated to this family, and also the children. As long as they are underage, or if they are above 18, they need to be single and studying full-time in the university, and they are eligible to be in the Golden Visa program. So at the moment that we schedule the biometrics, or that is the biometric appointment, everyone should travel to Portugal to do the biometrics. So then after the biometric appointment, around 3-4 months is a bit, I would say, optimistic during COVID time, a bit more months. And then you have of course, then the Golden Visa approval. The Golden Visa is a very objective process. You don't need to be concerned about anything. It's just we need to tick in the boxes. We need to comply with all the documentation that is required. We need to do the proper investment, and the Golden Visa is given. It's just a matter of waiting for the red tape to go through. As we said, at this moment, just today was published the new law for Golden Visa. So I'm not going to get a lot into this new law, but most importantly is that the law will only start from January 1st, 2022. This transition period that was supposed to happen will not happen. So it will only start from January 2022, which means that if you make an investment up until December, and if you start your Golden Visa process up until December 2021, the current rules will apply and will apply throughout the entire 5 years of your process. So it will not change your investment, okay? It will be considered as valid, and we can start under the current law. So you can buy in Lisbon, you can buy in Porto, you can buy in the Algarve, you can buy in any of the major cities in Lisbon still until the end of this year, and start the process until the end of this year.
And I can see there are a lot of questions over here. So, before we take up the question, this is the latest announcement which has just happened today. Earlier, the deadline for investing in Porto and Lisbon was 30th of June. But just today, the announcement has come. There are some other changes also in this. We'll be updating you. But the good thing is that this deadline has now been extended to 31st December. The government realized because of the COVID, people are not able to travel, and this concession has been given. So we have time up to 31st December now to plan our process. However, I would urge all of you not to wait till 31st December. You start the process now, because as we know, in India, there is what we have is we do not have free capital account convertibility. We cannot remit money freely outside India. If you need to invest, let's say 350,000 euros in for Portugal, then we will have to split it up. As we know that under the LRS, you can invest you can remit only 250,000 US dollars outside India. So if you are planning to, let's say, invest in a property in Portugal next financial year, it makes sense to send part of the money outside India this year before March, and the rest after in April, whenever you move to Portugal and decide to buy the property over there. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ricardo. Thanks, Filippo, Evia, and thank you all for attending today's webinar.
Let us help you achieve your dream. We at Acquest specialize in permanent residency and citizenship by investment programs being offered by governments of American and European countries. Our team of professionals is here to help you complete your migration journey and land safely at your chosen destination. Acquest, your trusted immigration advisor.